The 20th century changed the world in unprecedented ways. These are the top 10 important events of 20th century. Number 1. World War I. World War I was one of the deadliest conflicts in history, fundamentally reshaping Europe, leading to the collapse of empires like the Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, Russian, and German empires. It also set the stage for World War II and the modern political landscape. The key impact was that the Treaty of Versailles, which ended the war, imposed harsh reparations on Germany, leading to political instability and economic hardship that contributed to the rise of Adolf Hitler. Number 2. The Russian Revolution. The Russian Revolution led to the rise of communism and the creation of the Soviet Union, which became one of the two superpowers of the 20th century. It transformed global politics and initiated a Cold War between the East and the West. The revolution ushered in the first communist state and inspired communist movements worldwide, particularly in China, Cuba, and Eastern Europe. Number 3. World War II. World War II was the most destructive war in history, involving nearly every part of the world and resulting in tens of millions of deaths. The conflict ended with the defeat of Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan and led to the United Nations formation. As a result, the war led to the rise of the United States and the Soviet Union's global superpowers, setting the stage for the Cold War. It also brought about the Holocaust, the atomic bomb, and significant geopolitical changes, particularly in Europe and Asia. Number 4. The Holocaust. The Holocaust was the systematic, state-sponsored persecution and murder of 6 million Jews, as well as millions of others, by Nazi Germany during World War II. It remains one of the darkest chapters in human history. Later, the Holocaust prompted global reflections on human rights, leading to the establishment of international organizations and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. Number 5. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, effectively ending World War II. These were the only instances of nuclear weapons being used in warfare. The bombings introduced nuclear weapons as a significant factor in global politics and led to a nuclear arms race during the Cold War. Number 6. The Cold War. The Cold War was a period of political and military tension between the Soviet Union and its allies and the United States and its allies. It dominated global politics for nearly half a century, influencing wars, diplomacy, and international relations. It also led to proxy wars in Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan, the arms race, space race, and the eventual dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, which marked the end of the Cold War. Number 7. Decolonization of Africa and Asia. After World War II, European empires gradually lost control over their colonies, leading to the independence of many nations in Africa, Asia, and the Caribbean. The decolonization reshaped the global political landscape, creating new nations and often leading to struggles for power and identity within the newly independent states. Number 8. Civil rights movement in the United States. The civil rights movement aimed to end racial discrimination and segregation in the United States, leading to the passage of landmark legislation such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The movement then transformed American society by significantly advancing equality and inspiring other human rights movements around the world. Number 9. The fall of the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall, which had divided East and West Berlin since 1961, was a symbol of the Cold War and the divide between the communist and capitalist worlds. Its fall marked the beginning of the end for the Soviet Union and the reunification of Germany. The fall of the Berlin Wall symbolized the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe and set in motion the events that led to the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991. Number 10. The first moon landing. On July 20, 1969, NASA's Apollo 11 mission successfully landed humans on the moon, with Neil Armstrong becoming the first person to walk on the lunar surface. The moon landing was a major victory for the United States in the space race and showcased human technological achievement. It inspired future space exploration and is one of the most iconic moments in human history. Bonus events. The invention of the Internet. Though developed over decades, the commercialization and global adoption of the Internet in the 1990s has arguably had the most significant long-term impact on communication, business, and society. The end of apartheid in South Africa. The abolition of apartheid and the election of Nelson Mandela as president marked the end of institutionalized racial segregation and injustice in South Africa. This is it for today. For more content like this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe the channel, and hit the bell icon.